Hi everyone, this is going to be a weekly reading for the week coming up starting tomorrow, February 15th, going out for the next 7 days, and it's going to be using an oracle deck instead of tarot. This is the healing cards I have. These have great messages. I've already mixed them up, so let's see what we've got. Just going to grab a few cards that stand out for the week coming up, just some general energies for most people who might tune into this message. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. Maybe one more. Okay. So, without hope, we live in desire. Without hope, we live in desire. So, this is just a card saying, hey, try to stay in the moment and try to have hope. And it's interesting because I feel like I've been using this word hope a lot lately with people. There's been a few times that it's come up, so amazing. Now with these cards, there's also a message on the back. This one says, ask yourself, what are my desires? Then ask, what are my genuine needs? Discover how casually you desire things that have no real value for you. Then you'll realize how easily you lose your power. Well said. I couldn't agree with this card more. So, living in your desire and having hope for your future is so important. And how do you cultivate that hope? Maybe the answer to that question is in some of the other cards here that I'm about to look at. So my second card out says, may all creation dance for joy within you. If anybody's a dancer, this card might really mean something to you. And also, I feel this like New Orleans kind of jazzy vibe from this particular dancer in this card. I mean, she just, and she's got, she's like on the Eiffel Tower. It's got a feeling of just being free and being wild and unrefined, I love it. All you want to do today is love being alive, even if it's the hardest thing you've ever done. Appreciate the sounds, the sights, and sensations of your life. Friends, books, ideas, sleep, just enjoy. I'm getting a lot of live in the moment, stay in the now kind of feelings from these cards. Constantly maintain alertness in walking, sitting, eating, and sleeping. This card is really cute. I mean, this girl looks quite young, and you can't really see it, but there's little tiny numbers on these cards. So I've gotten the numbers 49, 45, and now 40. I feel like maybe these messages are in descending age order for whom they might apply. Like maybe for the younger people listening, this constantly maintaining alertness in what they do is for them to sort of learn how to identify things about themselves that they may not recognize. So the back of this card says, you don't always need to meditate to keep your attention in the present time. So there's that concept again of staying in the now. Simply just be aware. Alertness also serves your intuitive voice by keeping you focused and receptive. Continuous alertness is your task today. Interesting how, on the one hand, you're being told this week to remain just kind of in the now and just taking in every moment. And then this one's saying to stay alert. I do think that the energies this week will be a little bit heavy. We are still dealing with Mercury in retrograde, which my husband is really miserable about. Long story. And just basically, I do sense it, not just from these cards, but that this week will have some burdens and difficulties for some people. So just be vigilant about that and keep in mind it's not going to be a walk in the park. If you're being told to stay in the now, it's really just in the hopes that you can find happiness in the moments of your day. It's important not to get stuck in therapy. I'm so sorry if you're a therapist and I pulled this card. So this week, I feel like this message is basically saying Instead of analyzing and looking at the problem that exists, maybe it's time to step out and just be in the moment, maybe do the dancing, or, go out to the beach and look at the seagulls. Rather than talking and analyzing, therapy is a necessary boat that takes you across a rough river to a new shore. In time, though, you must step out of the boat and onto new earth and never look back. Okay. Mind blown, guys. I've never seen this card before, ever. And it really sounds counterintuitive for a lot of us. But I think that this is a very important message for some people. And I know that somebody out there is going to reach out to me and say, I really, really needed to hear that message because, at the end of the day, guys, honestly, the answers for all of our problems are actually inside of us. So a good therapist or a good therapy process should have you looking at what you want and how you want to resolve your issues. Because at the end of the day, they are yours, not anybody else's, and nobody else can make the decisions for you. I'm sure you all know that. This is a great card. One more. I just love trees, and this card is so pretty and happy, and I just really am feeling that whole, you see the circle there, and the tree is growing into the sun. And this card says, eating according to the seasons is the secret of health. Oh, I love this card. This card is for me. So your body knows that all things have their seasons. The spirit has its season too. Spring for rebirth, summer for exploration and growth, autumn for harvesting, and winter for introspection. Live in the season today. Guys, we are not in spring yet. And I said this the other day, maybe in one of my yearly readings, but I don't honestly remember. It could have been in a private reading, but I said it the other day that yes, it has been a long, hard year. 2020 was hard, and we're not through it yet, and it's also still winter. So although we are looking forward to our lovely spring, which is coming, in spite of what that groundhog said, we're still in the winter of introspection, and we're almost through it. We are almost through it, but it's not done yet. Okay, so what kind of spiritual nourishment are you eating right now to feed the understanding of who you are, what you need, where you're going? What's making you grow? How are you using tools like this to get out of that cycle of therapy and get onto, that other side, like the card said about going on land and getting off the boat? I love these health cards because who among us does not want better health? We all want that. But these cards have been amazing for this week. What I got from it is looking out into the world, we are dealing with a climate of great changes, new White House, new president, a lot of political unrest. There's a lot of things happening, and those things can weigh us down, and they can affect us in many ways. And let us not forget COVID. We're still dealing with a health crisis. There's been a lot of setbacks, like my daughter and many people in her age group have not gone to college who would have gone to college, but because of COVID, they're not on that path. So many things, and we can't look too far ahead right now. So we're going to just hang out here in this winter of introspection and, and nourish yourself both physically and spiritually. So, in terms of eating for this season, that's another thing to actually consider. I know I favor my wintry foods in the winter. I'm not out there trying to find the best fresh fruit because I know it's it's not the season for that, and that's okay. So just keep that in mind. I think they were great messages. And thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate that you guys have been like following my YouTube page and getting on board with my Lilac Broom page on Facebook. And just quickly, I will show you guys. I showed the Tauruses during their reading just now. I have finally created this lovely product, which is a lotion bar. It's a little out of shape now because I've been rubbing my hands on it. So that's how these work, is you rub your hands on it to get the lotion. It's made with shea butter and coconut oil, some fragrance, but they're essential oils. It's very mild. And they're going to be available for sale on my Etsy page. If you live locally, I'm happy to figure out delivery for you. Otherwise, I can ship them. I really like this design a lot. I feel like it fits nicely in your hand. I sent my husband to work with one. I hope he's enjoying it. Okay, there you go. I am all done now. Nothing else to say. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great week. Namaste.